You are waiting. Right now, at this exact moment, someone in a glass office, someone who has never worked harder than you, is deciding what you are worth. Not based on your talent, not based on your sacrifice, based on a number they pulled from a spreadsheet. And you are going to sit there, you are going to smile, you are going to say thank you. That is not ambition, that is surrender. The most dangerous thing the system ever taught you is this, that your value is something other people assign to you. It is not. There is a conversation, a specific, strategic dialogue that the wealthiest men in history used to extract maximum value from the world on their own terms. Andrew Carnegie knew it. Napoleon Hill documented it. And in the next 12 minutes you are going to learn it. But I need to warn you first. Carnegie revealed one rule inside this conversation. A rule so counterintuitive that Hill himself almost rejected it. A rule that the top 1% use quietly daily while the rest of the workforce begs for 3% annual raises. I will give you that rule, but not yet. Because if I give it to you now, without the context, you will misuse it, and it will cost you. Stay locked in. Here is the brutal truth about how most people approach income. They work hard. They hope someone notices. They wait for a performance review, a corporate ritual designed to give you the illusion of agency while keeping you exactly where you are. This is not a salary negotiation. This is a hostage situation, and you walked in unarmed. Napoleon Hill spent 20 years interviewing the wealthiest, most powerful men on earth. He sat across from Carnegie, the man who built the largest steel empire in American history, and asked him one direct question. Asterisk. What is the real reason some men accumulate great wealth, while others, doing seemingly the same work, remain poor? Carnegie leaned forward, and what he said next destroyed every conventional idea about earning. He did not say work harder. He did not say get a better degree. He did not say negotiate your salary. He said, asterisk, the man who does more than he is paid for will soon be paid for more than he does. Read that again, slowly. This is the law of compensation, and it is the first weapon in your arsenal. But here is where most people get this completely wrong. They hear do more than you're paid for, and they think, Texa, work longer hours, skip lunch, answer emails at midnight. No, that is not the extra mile. That is exploitation wearing the mask of ambition. The extra mile that Carnegie described is strategic, visible, and purposeful. It is not blind labor. It is calculated positioning. Think of it like a chess grandmaster. Every move costs energy. Every move must advance the position. You do not sacrifice pieces randomly. You sacrifice them to gain something greater. When you deliver value, beyond expectation, a solution no one asked for, an idea that saves the company $50,000, a relationship that opens 3 new doors, you are not just doing your job. You are renegotiating your identity in the eyes of the people with power. You are moving from employee to asset. Assets are not let go. Assets are not underpaid. Assets are competed for. Carnegie built his empire on men who practiced this principle. His inner circle, the men closest to him, the men who became millionaires themselves, they were not the hardest workers in the building. They were the most strategic ones. And this leads us to something Carnegie considered even more powerful than individual effort. Something he called the mastermind. Most gurus will tell you that success is a solo sport, that you grind alone, suffer alone, win alone. The richest man who ever lived said the opposite. Carnegie did not build his empire alone. He built it with a carefully selected council of minds, a mastermind alliance. A group of people whose intelligence, skills, and networks combined into something no single individual could replicate. Hill described it as a third mind, a new intelligence that emerges when 2 or more people coordinate in perfect harmony toward a definite purpose. This is not a networking group. This is not a Discord server. This is not a mastermind course you paid $997 for. This is a sovereign alliance, built with intention, built with standards. Carnegie's mastermind was not open to the public. Entry was based on value alignment, complementary strengths, and uncompromising commitment to shared goals. When you align yourself with even diverse person who possesses what you lack, connections, credibility, capital, skill, you double your effective power overnight. Two minds, working in harmony, produce results that the outside world will look at and call rock. It is not luck, it is architecture. Now, here is where most men stop. They understand the extra mile. They understand the mastermind. But they are still missing the one thing that makes both of these weapons time lethal. The one thing Carnegie admitted, almost reluctantly, was the real engine underneath all wealth accumulation. But here is where Carnegie almost stopped the interview. Hill asked him, "What separates the man who earns $10,000 a year from the man who earns $1 million? Carnegie was silent for a long moment. Then he said something that Hill would spend the rest of his life unpacking. Definiteness of purpose. Not effort, not education, not luck, not even talent. Definiteness. The average person has a vague wish. I want more money. I want financial freedom. I want to be comfortable. Comfortable. What a catastrophically mediocre word. The man who forces the world to pay him more does not want to be comfortable. Tom's, he has a Tom's number. Sam's a date, a plan, a reason. He knows exactly what he wants. He knows exactly when he intends to have it. And he has structured every relationship, every decision, every conversation around the achievement of that singular target. This is not positive thinking. This is not manifestation in the soft Instagram sense. This is financial warfare. And warfare requires precision. Carnegie told Hill, "A man without definiteness of purpose is like a ship without a rudder. The ocean does not care. The waves do not negotiate. The ship simply drifts and eventually sinks." Set the number, write it down, make it uncomfortably specific. Then build your mastermind, walk the extra mile, and watch the world begin to reorganize around your intention. Now, you remember the forbidden rule I mentioned at the beginning. The one rule Carnegie shared that 99% of people get completely wrong. Here it is. Carnegie said this, "Do not ask for a raise. Make yourself so valuable that withholding it becomes the employer's loss, not yours." Most people treat a raise as something they request. They rehearse a speech. They build a case. They walk into an office with anxiety in their chest and hope in their hands. Carnegie flips this entirely. The man who called consensus is at the mercy of the man who decides. The man who has engineered his own indispensability through the extra mile, through his mastermind, through his absolute definiteness of purpose, does not ask. He arrives, and the conversation has already been decided before it begins. This is the shift from employee psychology to sovereign psychology. Employees negotiate from weakness. Sovereigns negotiate from time's position. The world does not pay you what you deserve. The world pays you what you negotiate. And negotiation is not a conversation. It is the cumulative result of every strategic move you have made in the months and years before that moment. Carnegie understood this. Hill documented it. And the men who have implemented it, quietly, without fanfare, have extracted extraordinary compensation from a world that tried to underpay them. Now the question is, what do you do next? Let us compress everything into a war plan. Moat 1. Walk the extra mile. Not with blind effort, but with strategic, visible value that repositions you from worker to asset. 2. Build your mastermind. Identify 1 to 3 people whose strengths complement yours. Align on a shared purpose. Move together. 3. Define your number. Not a range, not a hope, a timeline. A written declaration of financial intent. 4. Remember the forbidden rule. Stop requesting permission for your own worth. Build a position so strong that the world comes to asterisk you. This is not motivation. This is not a pep talk. This is in time system, forged by the wealthiest man of the 20th century, documented by the most studied success researcher in history, and available to anyone with the discipline to implement it. The question was never whether the world would pay you more. The question was always whether you would do what was required to force its hand. At Vested Network, we do not believe in the 9-to-5 as a life sentence. We believe in sovereignty, in building income architectures that answer to you. Not a manager, not a performance review, not a corporation that would replace you without hesitation. Every week, we publish videos like this one, extracting the timeless frameworks of the greatest financial minds in history and translating them into executable strategy for the modern wealth builder. If this resonated, if somewhere in the last 12 minutes something inside you shifted, then you are already in the right room. Subscribe to Vested Network, turn on notifications, because the next video we are releasing may be the most important one we have ever made. The top 1% do not become the top 1% by accident. They consume the right information from the right sources at the right time. This is your right time. The world is waiting to pay you more.